breeze whistled over the barren fields, hauling scents of dirt, brush, and sorrow. Out there past the skyline, where the heavens kissed the fading light, a young lady huddled in a cart, her arms bound by rough twine, her features partly veiled under a ragged scarf. Her name was Lena, and she was being hauled off, traded like a discarded item. Her kin lingered in the back, mute, avoiding her stare. She'd been branded childless, doomed, and pointless for the sole role folks figured a lady was made for, bringing forth young ones. They claimed she was sterile, that no fellow would claim her. And in a realm that gauged a lady's value by her gifts, Lena turned to Zilch. The healer's harsh verdict had locked her doom. She won't bear a babe, he'd declared. Her folks' gazes dulled that instant, and shortly they bartered with a stranger she'd never known, a farmer in the southern backlands. He'd tossed a fistful of silver pieces, plenty to bail their crumbling spread, and so she was swapped as the cart creaked across the vast wilds. She gazed at the clouds, salt tracks stiffening on her skin. Rage had ebbed. Now only emptiness gnawed. At least, she mused, the heavens can't claim me. By dusk they hit the farmstead, acres of railings sprawling under the moon's glow. Steeds loomed still in the barns. The gusts bore the thump of one mallet hitting timber, rhythmic, solid, sure. And yonder stood the farmer, towering, sturdy-framed, a gent forged from the soil itself. His name was Jack Harlan. Jack spun round at the cart's halt, his green eyes sharpened, spotting the gal dismount, palms lashed, garb ripped. He brushed his palms on his trousers and strode up. "This the one?" he queried, tone even, laced with doubt. The peddler bobbed his head, thrusting a scrap into his grip. "Yep, kin claims she's flawed. You recall the terms?" Jack's chin sat hard. "Flawed," he echoed, voice shadowed. The peddler lifted his shoulders. "Won't breed? They reckon she's unfit for kinfolk, but she can whip up grub, scrub, anything you fancy." Jack eyed Lena, her chin dipped, dodging his look. A spark flickered in him, not sorrow, not lust, but something rawer, a hushed fury at the sight before him. He loosed her bonds wordlessly. "Roam free," he stated plain. "You're no captive here." Lena lifted her gaze, befuddled. "But you purchased me." Jack's stare warmed, yet his words held steady. "I claimed your liberty, not your submission. Linger or leave at your whim." The peddler snorted, hawked onto the soil, and galloped away, grit eddying in the chill draft. For ages, words hung unsaid. The farmstead hushed, save for a far-off whinny from a mount. Then Jack murmured low, "You seem starved. Pot's got chowder simmering. Grab your fill, then bunk down. Chat come sunrise." Within the hut, the breeze hummed of timber blaze and fir. One lantern danced on the board. Lena perched near it, quivering, weeks since a square bite. She scanned round plain, tough furnishings, all crafted by hand, cherished. On the shelf hung a washed-out portrait, a gal beaming, cradling an infant. Jack's departed bride, likely. Jack ladled her a dish of chowder, then settled opposite. "I'm not the sort they painted Lena," he started. "Didn't snag you for their notions. Just aimed to hand you a fresh shot. Hereabouts, nobody pries your past, just your present self." Lena fixed on him, water pooling. "You scarcely know me." He dipped his head slow. "Then spill who you be." She gulped deep. "Once a parent's pride, then a load to bear. Now?" Lost on that score, Jack eased back, gaze musing. No load on this spread. Labor if it suits, doze if need be. The soil shows souls how to breathe anew. Perchance it'll school you too. For the first stretch in ages, Lena sensed heat not from flames, but from a mercy she'd lost track of. That eve, curled in the nook he'd offered, she wept soft, not from grief, but 'cause one soul had peered her way and spied a being, not a bust. Weeks slipped by. Dawn cracked soon over the farmstead, drenching amber meadows in glow. Jack toiled from first light to twilight, patching rails, minding steeds, and now and then gently showing Lena the pulse of the earth. He never barked, never pressed, and bit by bit she mended. One dawn she stirred afore him, keen to pitch in. She doled feed to the beasts, mastered bridling, aided herding stock. Her chuckles crept back, faint and shy, like a sparrow relearning flight. Jack marked it, but held mum. He merely grinned as she neared, his chest easing day upon day. Then one twilight, as the orb dipped in crimson haze, Lena ventured, "What truly drove you to claim me, Jack?" He halted, scouring his palms. "Saw how they eyed you, like beneath folks, and I couldn't abide it." Her tone quavered. "You dismissed their tale on me." He met her square. "I hold no soul owns your measure. Not kin, not healer, not I. Solely you." Those lines struck fiercer than aught she'd caught. First off, she reckoned, her tale might not end. As weeks bloomed to moons, the farmstead stirred afresh. Blossoms sprouted where grit ruled. Giggles rang across the gullies, and Lena sensed a core twist. Optimism. One raging dusk, bolts cracked o'er the meadows, the eaves dripped, beasts bolted wild. Lena and Jack dashed to the sheds, downpour lashing. They toiled as one, soothing critters drenched clear through. Done at last, she wheeled to him, orbs agleam and lantern gleam. "You pulled me from the brink," she breathed. He curved a lip, faint. "Nah, you hauled your own self." And right then, mid rumbles and petrichor whiff, a wordless thread wove twixt 'em, a tie tougher than vows. As the gale waned, Lena peered yon at the turf, once a cage, now kin to hearth. She breathed a hushed thanks for release, for grace, for the gent who'd glimpsed her gold when all else had chucked her aside. And way off the dawn spark climbed. The forenoon orb climbed the farmstead like a vow. Mist jewels hugged the blades, and the gust hummed of fresh starts. Lena leaned at the barrier, palms on splintered plank, eyeing the mounts dash through fog. Days had twisted in manners she'd scarce dreamed. Once hawked as shattered, she now rose proud, her mirth mingling with zephyrs. Jack's spread had turned haven, and some way the throb in her soul had eased. Jack labored close, stitching a rail, his blouse slick with toil, rays gilding his frame. He glanced up, catching her beam, gentle, luminous, serene. "You shine brighter lately," he quipped with a smirk. "True that," she replied. "First time I sense roots here." They supped as dusk fell, swapped hushed yarns by hearth glow, drew solace from trifles. The groan of the sway seat, the bruise aroma, patter on panes. Love went unnamed, no call. It lingered, tacit, unfolding in still spells, sans chatter. But one morn, as warblers trilled, Lena felt a queer whirl. She waved it off, chalking to wear from dawn tasks. Days on, the frailty swelled. Jack clocked her ashen hue, shaky grip. "Ain't right," he stated solid. "Town bound, we are." She demurred mild, but he stood pat. He scooped her light to the cart and steered cross-undulating turf to that wee healer's den, where long back her lot got nailed by bitter barbs. The healer, wearier now, silver-streaked, probed her keen, face morphing from probe to stun. At length he eyed 'em both. "Mr. Harlan, she's carrying," the phrase dangled like a peal. Lena gulped air, pulse thundering. "Impossible. You swore." The healer eased off his specs, deliberate, mistook it. The wild has whims, and now and then it stuns us flat. Lena's orbs brimmed, digits quaking o'er her core. Jack clasped her, timbre deep yet sure. A wonder, Lena, flaw-free always. On the trek home she sat wordless, fingers laced in his. The meadows rolled broad, aureate under blaze. Can't fathom, she sighed. Jack's grin softened, no need. Gifts land when we quit reckoning we merit squat. Back at base the spread gleamed keen like the ground threw a fete for their glee. Breezes wafted bloom, tang, and first in eons, Lena chortled unbound. Each stride rang triumph o'er the fibs that once chained her. Moons rolled and days tuned to soft suspense. Jack whittled a bassinet by craft, each peg sunk with care. Lena stitched wee garb by emballon emberlight, soul ballooning thanks. You handed my days anew, she noted one gloaming. Jack peered up, gaze tender. Nix, Lena, you just craved a nudge, it stayed yours. When the hour struck, the spread stilled under pearl haze of break. Ache, dread, and wish crammed the ether. Spans later a wee wail pierced the hut, a peal that wrung sobs from both. Jack cupped the might, calloused paws shaken. Flawless, he husked. Lena beamed faint drops like gems. Trust me yet? He chuckled light. Ever have. Beyond drizzle tapped kind, rinsing loam clean, Jack edged to the casement, nestling his girl, and breathed. World dubbed you flawed, Lena, but skies beg differ. As beams pierced the veil, radiance flooded, toasty, aureate, vital. Lena stretched for the taut, core brimming, hawked as trash. She'd unearthed a devotion deeming her treasure. And as the teller's tone ebbs, the last vista holds. Lena, Jack, and Babe framed in their portal, grassland gusts whispering soft, round 'em. Pause here, folks, let that sink in. You feel that pull in your chest? That's the magic of tales like this, reminding us we're all worthy of a turnaround. Sometimes life slaps tags on you as lesser, but devotion, trust, and mercy, they got the grit to recast any fate. Hey, if this yarn tugged your strings, hit that like button, drop a comment on what second chance means to you, and subscribe for more heart tuggers on love, belief, and fresh dawns. We drop 'em weekly, promise. And yeah, one more nudge. Smash subscribe now if you're craving more. Your support keeps these stores rolling, and we'd love your thoughts in the comments below. Like if it hit home,